loaded. I've been coming out here picking up the bad ones, just so the good ones will maybe do better. I don't know. But it's got a bunch of cherries on it. I keep waiting to see if the palm trees are gonna put out flowers, but nothing yet. It might be another year or so before they actually do anything. They look really good though, healthy. Something keeps eating that one.
Something or someone?
The other cherry tree, huge, also packed with cherries. The lilacs still aren't really doing much. They seem to grow so slow.
What tree is this?
No apples on this tree yet that I can see. They might be starting. This one's got apples. This was the tree we hacked up earlier this spring. We took this whole side off of it. It was like a whole nother tree all the way over here. We chopped it. I just put more seeds in last night for the zucchini and the squash because the transplants aren't doing great. Sunflowers are falling over. The potatoes are good.
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
Is this whole bed
And then
potatoes?
potato right here. This was the potato bed last year. And then there's a huge potato down there grown out of the ground in the corner of the garden. This is also potatoes. They haven't come up yet. I just planted them last week though. There's a sprout right here. Oh, look at that. There's some potatoes.
Here they come.
Yep. And then the rhubarb needs to be harvested. I should probably do that today. There's quite a few in there I could pick out. So they'll start coming back for the second harvest. I didn't really, this is only the second year with the asparagus, and I didn't really harvest heavy this year. I only did, I think, 5 or 6 of them. And the rest I'm gonna let go to seed. And then next year will be the big harvest on the asparagus for the first time. Yay! The tomatoes were in the garden yesterday. They were in a little bit of plant shock, some of them, but they're looking pretty good. I left the stickers here so I could take a picture and remember which ones were what. That's the hillbillies. This is the yellow beefsteaks. These are the cherries. This is my black beauties, which are my favorite tomatoes ever. These are the Amish paste. These 5 are all pink brandywine. And that bed's also a tomato bed, but obviously not full this year because with everything that's been going on the last month and the garden remodel, like I just didn't get to it. So we're not gonna have 1,001 tomatoes this year, and that's all right. This was the onions. Most of them died, but some of them are gonna die. There's plants, lemon balm, doing good. All the strawberries are doing great. There's a bird's nest in there.
In here?
Yeah, it's right here. And she's right there behind you in that tree, chirping at us. but tons of tomato flowers. I've been trying not to overwater the tomato or the strawberries because they're getting moldy leaves because of too much water. We've gotten a lot of rain this spring, so I planted sunflowers in the middle of all the big strawberry beds, and I planted some over here too. This has turned out to be my favorite pot this year. I did not know that I had a pink lupin. All of my lupin up to this point has been a dark purple.
Surprise!
Yeah. So these are one of my favorite flowers too, and I can't remember the name of them, but they're really pretty. The peacocks have left the succulents alone this year, and they're starting to come back. So that's good. The herb bed is doing really good. I need to harvest heavy on the rosemary, and actually all of this. I need to get in here and just trim it all back. I transplanted yarrow on the front of the fence line up by the road. There's a whole huge patch that grows wild up there.
Yeah.
So I dug some of it out and put it in here, and it's come back amazingly. I think we're gonna have a good yarrow patch this year.
Nice.
There's Mr. Darcy saying hello.
No, this is Mr. Darcy beefing with me.
Almost all of the cucumbers died that I transplanted. They were really healthy when I put them in the ground. There was like 12 of them. They didn't make it more than a week. So I put more seeds in the ground yesterday. Not unusual for me to have a late cucumber harvest because my cucumbers do this to me every year. I have to plant like 3 times to get cucumbers, and then I don't have anything until like September, and then for like 2 months it's heavy on the cucumbers. More strawberries, all doing great. Those onions are doing good. These onions, this is actually chives, and they're doing pretty good. I should probably come in and cut them down a little bit. I just transplanted them like a month ago. Oh, the white columbine. Another sunflower I transplanted. More lemon balm with carpet bugleweed. I found this stuff growing on the back of the house, and I transplanted it into this pot just like 3 years ago or something, and this is what happened, and I love it. Purple columbine, and another huge lupin that I transplanted from the front of the house because it was taken over. And yeah, I love it. I think this is the purple one. I'm pretty sure it is. And I haven't actually went and looked at the blueberries or raspberries yet in a couple of weeks. So, oh, here's that huge potato plant. And look at this. I got potatoes growing out of this. This was the old potato beds that were down here, right here at the bottom of the garden. That's what all this dirt is from. And there's still potatoes growing out of the ground.
That's what we call wild planting.
You cannot kill potatoes. So the raspberry patch, I still have not weeded, but it's coming back really great. I just need to get in here and pull some of this stuff out because you can see the raspberries are doing good. I was really wondering if any of these were going to come back, and they did. Blueberries are doing good. It looks like they're growing berries. The flowers have fallen off. This was the new blueberry plant this year that you got me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I put it right here. There was a spot because the one that was here it died. So we're back up to 5 blueberry plants. And this one was in the pot, and it had feverfew growing in it. And so I just left it, and now there's feverfew growing with the blueberries. And the raspberry row goes all the way down here, and this is the raspberry plant you got me this year. It's doing good. We've tied it up a little bit so it's supported, and then these ones are the ones that came back from last year. And this thing, this is the first raspberry plant I ever bought for the homestead, and for 6 years this thing didn't do anything. Didn't do anything. And then last year, when it was still in a pot up on the side of the garden, it finally berried, and it gave me so many berries last year. And then I decided it's time to dig these and get everything in the rows where they belong and out of the garden. So this is starting to flower now, and I think it's gonna berry again this year for me. This thing just went crazy. It did hardly anything for 6 years, and then all of a sudden,
Boom.
it just exploded. And then the elderberry trees, of course, all the birds get these red elderberries that are on the big elderberry trees, so I just let them have them. But the black elderberry tree that we planted for Bella
Yeah.
is, it's doing really great. And it had some flowers on it. It still has some flowers on it. So we might get a few black elderberries this year from the baby tree. Look at this, it's going crazy. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize there were so many. It really is, it's going nuts. And see, these ones buried, but the birds always eat them, and there's hardly any that are left. But the ones wild back in the forest, I always get elderberries off those. So, Butt's garden. And then of course the ongoing project of the chicken coop fence, which is still not done. But we're getting there.
Ooh. Sorry, my foot sunk into something.
Oh, yeah. Probably a bull hole.
I just wasn't expecting it. Maybe I should watch where I'm walking.
In this whole area, we cleaned up this year. There's still a couple piles of sticks laying around we need to deal with, but for the most part, this whole area got cleaned up. We saved the dingleberry patch, which looks like a little flower. And the salmon berries. Oh, look at that.
What'd you say, Mom? I can't hear you.
The salmon berries are green. It's only going to be a few weeks on the salmon berries, y'all. Before you know it, I'm going to be swimming in them. You're going to have so many videos of me every morning out here picking berries before too long. That's what I do. Here's the thimbleberries. This is a thimbleberry. And the thimbleberries pretty much start here, and they're all the way back in the forest, and they wrap all the way around. This was the only strip I kept out in the field side. But all back there in the forest, thimbleberries and salmonberries.
Galore.
Like, galore. The whole entire forest, I'm not even kidding. It's all thimbleberries and salmonberries. Yeah, and it looks like these thimbleberries came back really well. So, it's funny because this morning on my Facebook, my personal page, one of the memories was the old corral was still up and the thimbleberries were going crazy. And of course they were like 8 or 9 feet high that year. And this whole thing was nothing but blackberries, and the blackberries were starting to grow over the back of the corral and take over the thimbleberries. And I'd gotten in there with the loppers and chopped my way into the front of the corral, through the corral, and to the other side of this patch to get to these thimbleberries. And I said in the video, there was like this 30-second clip, and it was me saying how someday I was going to be able to harvest this thimbleberry patch from both sides, and it was going to be amazing. 6 years later, here we are, finally can do it. And thimbleberry leaves, most people don't know, but thimbleberry leaves are known as nature's toilet paper.
Huh.
Because they are extremely soft. And they don't cause you like rashes or breakouts and stuff like other leaves would.
Is that the blackberry patch over there, Mom?
What?
Is that the blackberry
That's
patch?
the blackberry patch, yep. So the thimbleberry patch wraps all the way around here. And I just love these things, and I always forget every year what they're called, but if you look,
They're everywhere.
they're just everywhere. They're so pretty when they bloom. They're like pink and white. And then there's bees everywhere. And there's my fairy door. This was the first path I blazed through the woods like 7 years ago. And then just went exploring, and that's how I found all the berries. That's when we got this place. We didn't know that all these berries were here. We had no idea, other than the blackberries. We always knew the blackberries were here.
Mom. Mom. Mom.
And I love this huge old maple. Anthill. Gosh, this whole thing is an anthill, it looks like.
No kidding.
I need to get some diatomaceous earth down here. So yeah, here's the blackberry patch, and I need to get down here and start cutting these up and get them off the ground. Because I don't want it to spread any more than it is. Oh, look at that. They're already starting to flower. Man, it's really early. It's only May.
But it's like the end of May.
I know, but usually the blackberries don't start flowering until... I mean, our blackberry season isn't until the beginning of August.
Climate
It's
change?
just gone crazy over the last month.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I need to get in here and cut this up a little bit so it's easier for me to pick come August. And the salmon berries start right here. On the field side anyway. It's full spread the salmon berries. Front and back.
What did you say?
There's some green ones. There's some that are still flowering.
Mom. Mother.
Wow. It's going to be a good salmonberry year. Massive, massive amounts of salmonberries. Everywhere. Look at the bees. They're doing their job. There's bees everywhere. Look at the bumbles. Yep. And then this is my little path to get through around that tree and to the back side of this. More salmonberry. This is right here, this little patch
Yeah?
is usually, and this whole thing right here is nothing but swamp half the year. So during the wet season, this is all water. And the salmonberries love it because come spring, this dries up a little bit and the salmonberries just pop. Oh, this is always the one place that I pick the first salmonberry of the year. It's right here in this little patch. And then of course there's trailing berries everywhere. That's another blackberry. This is another blackberry that I kept. I don't know what it is about this patch. I think it's just the age of it. But the blackberries are huge. They're like the size of my palm. The blackberries that come off this bush are enormous. And they're just Himalayan blackberries. There's nothing special about them. They're the same as those ones, but they're just so much bigger. This is all blackberry. I usually don't pick it because I don't need to. This is where the wild elderberries are. And ossoberry. This is an ossoberry tree, also called Indian plum. Here's some. They're really tiny. They taste like plums, just miniature. Oh, look at this. This is a mess. Look at all these trailing berries. I came in here about, I don't know, 2.5, 3 weeks ago and cut down the nettle, because this used to be nettle forest. It would be 6 feet high by now. But I try to keep a trail because these blackberries right here, oh look at all the bees, are they're cut leaf blackberries, and they're our native Pacific Northwest native blackberries, and they're my favorite blackberry. This is the only patch we have here, is right here. So I try to keep it open on both sides so I can pick from both sides. This is a Himalayan blackberry with more trailing berries. The trailing berries are so beautiful when they're blooming. I just love the little white flowers. And then the cut leaf wraps around and it grows all right here. And I cut it back quite a bit at the end of last year and this spring, right here on this corner, so I'm hoping that it will fill out. But I need to get in here and cut down these nettles. As you can see, there's nettles everywhere. That's a big mess back there, and it's all salmonberry and blackberry. But it hasn't been cut down, so it's all overgrown. And that's an alder tree, but these are apples. This is an apple, and we've never really gotten apples off this tree. I think it's just old and it really hasn't been maintained very well. And it needs to be taken down. But it's a beautiful little tree, and I love it. So I just leave it there. This is a serviceberry tree. Serviceberries are like blueberries, but in the Pacific Northwest, they taste exactly like a blueberry, but they're blueberries that grow on trees. So it's a serviceberry tree. And this apple tree and that apple tree, brother hacked up.
Your brother or my brother?
And this one came back with a vengeance. This year I have a video of all the blooms that were on this apple tree just like not even a month ago. And it was crazy. There's going to be so many apples on this tree this year. I don't see any baby apples yet. But they're where oh, there's some. They're really itty bitty. They're still teeny tiny, but there's going to be so many of them. So, definitely a lot of applesauce, apple butter,
Yum.
apple pies.
Even better.
Yeah, that's about it.